Breaking just moments ago, dock workers all across the country will return to work tomorrow, just days after walking off the job and onto the picket line. The 45,000 longshoremen in question reached a deal to suspend that strike until January 15th.
Between now and then, the goal will still be to negotiate a new contract, which will ultimately include wage increases, but the specifics of that increase not yet known.
66 pounds of illegal drugs and thousands of dollars in cash.
That is what county, city, and state investigators found during a drug bust on the south side earlier today. Our Zaria Oates was there when the sheriff announced that arrest.
Zaria joins us live. Zaria, you just wrapped up talking to the sheriff. What else do we need to know about this entire thing?
Well, this all started at about 1:20 when a deputy with Bexar County's gang unit made a major traffic stop, and that led to them finding 2 kilos of methamphetamine in the car, which then led them back to a home on Fitch Street in the south side, where they later found about 25 to 30 kilos of meth. And if you're wondering, a reference for that is about 66 pounds, and it's got about a $2.5 million street value. Now, they also had about $20,000 in cash, according to Bexar County Sheriff's Department. There was also some cocaine found inside of that home. No other individuals, as we know this time, were inside of the house at the time, but the sheriff did say that the drugs that were found inside of a Pampers box. So that's kind of a relation to how much of the drugs were inside of the home. A 38-year-old male and a 39-year-old female were both arrested in this case. Sheriff Salazar said that he does expect federal charges to come. At this time, we do not have an identity on either the 38-year-old male or the 39-year-old female, but once we have that information, we'll provide it to you on KSAT.com. Live downtown, Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Zaria. They say it's something they felt they had to do. The San Antonio Professional Firefighters Association says it is sounding the alarm to its members over the presence of a Venezuelan gang.
The fire union believes they're being kept in the dark about this, and they're worried about firefighters and paramedics' safety.
Garrett Berger tells us where in the city the union's warning is concerned with.
Watch your six. That's the advice San Antonio's fire union gave its members Wednesday, saying the union is aware of possible gang activity in the north central part of town, specifically from Tren de Aragua.
How big of a concern is this for you and your members?
Oh, it's a huge concern. As firefighters and paramedics, we're unarmed, right? We're going in there, and San Antonio police officers look a lot like San Antonio firefighters and paramedics.
Last month, Governor Greg Abbott said the state was targeting the Venezuelan gang. A few days later, federal investigators said they had arrested 2 members here in San Antonio who are connected to a gun-running operation.
But this is concentrated presence. This is concentrated, increased activity.
Saying he didn't want to jeopardize any police activity that might be happening, Jones generally described the area as a few blocks north of the Migrant Resource Center, where 2 fire stations in particular typically respond. That would put it roughly around here.
We've had confirmation from, I'll say other jurisdictions, but, of course, they're not going to go on record.
But Jones said they often have to pull in EMS units from across town, so it's not just those 2 stations that need to be aware.
They could be responding from the south side. If they're responding into these areas or these locations and they have no idea, what then, right?
Firefighters have been giving each other informal heads-ups, but the union president says there hasn't been any official warning from the city. Though he said there are apartments where 2-person squad or EMS crews aren't supposed to respond to without a heavy truck, an apparent attempt at safety in numbers.
How do you know it's specifically for this gang activity that, the city's not really acknowledging?
Again, it goes back to boots on the ground. We've talked directly with people from both of the stations that are in the epicenter of this, and we are talking about very specific locations.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
So hearing all that, we did reach out to the city for comment on this situation. They told us in part, quote, suspected and known gang activity in the San Antonio area is being addressed by SAPD. Coordination with the San Antonio Fire Department, SAFD, is part of our daily operations. SAPD is and will continue to take necessary action to ensure the public safety as well as the safety of our first responders. End quote.
We also reached out to Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar. He said he is aware they are operating in Bexar County. Are you registered to vote? If not, you have a few more days. The deadline is Monday evening at 7 p.m. and it's easy to register. You can submit your voter registration application in person at the Bexar County Election Department. That's on Frio Street. That department is also extending its hours ahead of the deadline. They'll be open for select hours over the weekend and all day Monday until that 7 p.m. deadline. Now, once you're registered, you can vote early or wait till Election Day. That's November 5th. Early voting starts October 21st and runs through November 1st. That does include the weekend. Registered voters can also vote at any polling site during the early voting period. And we have a full list of those locations on our website right now. Just scan this QR code. That's where you'll also find a breakdown on how to register to vote, how to check if you're already registered, even some ballot information. You can find it all on our Vote 2024 page of KSAT.com.
It is a grim statistic. The Hurricane Helene death toll topping 200 people, making it the deadliest storm to hit the United States since Hurricane Katrina nearly 20 years ago. Hundreds remain missing in western North Carolina. Yeah, still even more people waiting for power to be turned back on in Georgia, Florida, other parts of the Carolinas, all while President Biden tours the damaged region for a second day in a row, promising federal resources to people who've lost everything. ABC's Rena Roy reports on the recovery efforts.
Piles of debris, a van barely hanging to the side of an embankment, and a cargo container nearly submerged in a river. Crews working to clear some of the mess left in the flood-ravaged North Carolina mountains after Hurricane Helene. Satellite images show towns before and after the historic flooding. You can see green grass and black pavement now replaced with mud. Many people still unaccounted for across the state.
Buncombe County does not have an official number for unaccounted people. We're continuing to find people. We know we have pockets of people who are isolated due to landslides and bridges out.
Crews urgently working to restore power, so many still without basic necessities. National Guard troops out in force handing out relief supplies like food and water.
We've been here for a while and we've been running long hours, just trying to help out as much as we can.
President Biden getting an update from people on the ground and surveying the damage in the hardest hit areas, today touring Georgia and Florida.
Then I came here to Georgia to meet all of you to see firsthand how you're doing as well, because we're really in this together. We're separate states, but we're the United States of America.
The door was here.
This home destroyed in Deckle Beach, Florida.
We've worked our whole lives, and we're so close to where they say the golden years. It's like you can see the light, and then it all goes dark.
In Steinhatchee, Dave Beamer rebuilt his home last year after it was destroyed by Hurricane Idalia. This time it was completely swept away.
And you can see it down there, but that's where my house ended up.
Parts of Tennessee were also hit hard. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation launching a hotline to help find missing people. So far, over 500 calls have been received, with nearly 24 still being actively investigated. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And one good point there is the amount of mud. Because of the flash flooding in the mountainous areas of the Appalachians, the amount of mud and mudslides makes cleaning up so much more challenging. Even just getting into those areas, it makes it so much more challenging. Around here, of course, we're in a drought. Now, this is last week's drought monitor, and 3, 2, 1. Show you this week's. The dry area in yellow has spread, and even the moderate drought has encompassed just about all of Bexar County. 34% of Texas considered in drought at this time. There will be some rain on Saturday. I'll show you where that's going to end up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Adam. Let's take a look at traffic out there right now. This is I-10 here at Fresno. You can see a big backup across all lanes there. We've got that one car off to the side, a Hero vehicle as well, but definitely a tie-up that's affecting the whole I-10, all main lanes there, slow going at this hour. An entirely new way to approach autism, and a therapist right here in San Antonio was the first person in the country to be trained. The Autism Community Network is still the only center in the U.S. for therapy that caters to parents of autistic children. Courtney Friedman found out why this is so different and how it's already changing lives of families.
Tracy Saunders has 3 sons with autism, ages 17, 13, and 6.
All of my boys have presented so differently that I've had to learn new skills for all of them.
She's learned those skills from the Autism Community Network in San Antonio, which provides diagnoses, therapy, and family services. That includes a new program called the Pediatric Connection Autism Therapy, or PACT. It helps the caregiver identify strengths in the child and shine a light on that.
Without an approach like this, these kids can kind of go through life thinking they're just a big package of deficits.
Autism Community Network CEO Dr. Carrie Alvarado was the first American ever trained to offer PACT. Now she's trained 2 other local therapists, and the group is still the only one offering it in the United States. The goal, approaching autistic people in a different way, not forcing them to conform.
We try to force that little round peg into a square hole. All we do is break them, right? And so let's develop approaches that are building on those strengths that the child has.
PACT kids globally have gone on to college, engage in society, and find more independence. The program, just 12 to 18 weeks, about an hour a week.
It's actually better via telehealth because I can see you and your child interacting in your natural environment.
Here's Saunders and Alvarado in one of their sessions.
Do it, Mickey. Mickey went in. So you had an option to go functional language, which was in, or you had a language to go symbolic, which was sit, right? So tell me a little bit about your thinking there.
I feel like he has kind of mastered in and out.
I love that you're thinking about what he would be saying where he is developmentally.
What are some of the light bulbs that went off when you were in this new PACT program?
Listening to the way that I word things.
At a summit on Friday, Alvarado and her team will educate the community about PACT. Speakers will include autistic adults who grew up with traditional methods and have said,
wait, this isn't exactly what I needed. I still don't feel like I have meaning in my life. There's been a lot of attention to the things I'm not good at.
Saunders eternally grateful her son won't feel that way.
And feeling heard makes such a difference.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
The Autism Summit is open to the entire community. It is Friday, October 4th at the Tobin Center from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and you can register online. We have a link to do that on KSAT.com. We have some good news to report here at 6 o'clock. Chulo, the Brahma bull, has been found.
Yeah, this rogue bovine, this bull on the run, this source of Brahma drama, spotted on some neighborhood doorbell cameras in St. Hedwig last month. His owners told us he accidentally got out through an open gate, and they have been looking for him ever since. The search party, though, shut down. He was found earlier today. Chulo is safe.
Coming up, a scary statistic: cancer, now the leading cause of death for the Latino community. But a San Antonio Cancer Center is trying to reverse that trend. Why they say this is happening and what they're doing to spread awareness across the Alamo City.
A family mourning 2 of their loved ones. Coming up tonight on the Night Beat, we're learning more about a crash that happened in Mexico that killed 2 San Antonio sisters. And we're learning how their family is honoring them tonight on the Night Beat.
She was shot. Her 2 daughters were stabbed. The person said to be responsible is her ex and the dad. Now Mariah Gardner is starting a foundation for domestic violence victims in the name of her daughter who didn't survive. That's tonight on the Night Beat.
Cancer is now the leading cause of death for Latinos.
Health for Latinos, not often a topic of concern for older generations, and often many go unchecked and don't do preventative care. It's why the Mays Cancer Center at UT Health is leading research across the country to help figure out how to bring down those numbers.
Studies are showing there are multiple reasons why Latinos are seeing increased numbers. It includes a lack of access to health care, a lack of insurance, not going to yearly checkups, and not taking part in clinical trials.
There's still that myth that if you talk about cancer, you might be willing it on someone, right? So we try to say, no, it's really important that you understand what are the risk factors.
It's important to have that conversation. Dr. Ramirez says we can all help by encouraging our family and friends to visit the doctor and by educating each other. And it's why KSAT 12 is also hosting a town hall with Dr. Ramirez and others next Tuesday. That starts at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. For more information about that, go to KSAT.com.
Take a live look outside right now, and 92 degrees. Humidity kind of creeping back into the picture, though. It'd be nice to maybe get rid of some of that.
Yeah, or at least put it to good use.
Yeah, exactly. Give us some rain. Yeah.
Yeah, put it to good use. And unfortunately, I don't really think we're going to around here. We're keeping the 20% chance in for Saturday, generally along and south of Highway 90. But let's get to our futurecast. And I think this model has a pretty good understanding or representation of what's likely to happen. This is Friday at noon. Notice by Friday evening, Friday night, some coastal showers popping up, and the vast majority of the action lately has been offshore in the Gulf and even parts of the Caribbean. But then we get into Saturday and more moisture comes on shore. It's just in deep South Texas down in the valley there, and that's where some of the heaviest and most beneficial rain is going to be. And if you recall from the drought monitor earlier, not even abnormally dry down here. They're actually in a pretty good position drought-wise, or lack thereof. And Saturday, 5 p.m., a little bit of that activity between Laredo and Corpus Christi, Cotulla, and basically from Cotulla over to Beeville, we could have a few of those showers and maybe a couple of them popping up a little bit closer to San Antonio. But if you can't tell from my tone, I'm not too confident in a lot really making it closer to town. But in these situations, sometimes we can get lucky, and that's why we have that 20% chance. Weak upper level low developing in northern Mexico. It's going to drift overhead, but I think it's going to be a little too far south to pull a lot of that Gulf moisture overhead and turn it into rain. And speaking of the Gulf, this is where a lot of the action has been for several days. We don't have radars offshore, so we have to switch over to the satellite imagery. And this infrared satellite imagery shows these red colors as the colder cloud tops, meaning higher in the sky, indicating thunderstorms. You know those are thunderstorms offshore over the open Atlantic. And there still is that slight chance of a organization and development there in the Gulf. We'll talk more about the tropics and Kirk and Leslie out in the Atlantic coming up at 6:45. But notice the general rainfall trend over the next 7 days is going to remain out over the open water and then even over Florida. The rain that we need is really just headed toward Florida. Whopping 10% chance tomorrow and a 20% chance on Saturday. I wish I had better news, but we don't just yet. We need the flow to start changing. And right now our upper level flow is basically west to east across the northern U.S. We need that to turn north-south. You look at the temperatures, it's warm all the way up the midsection of the country. Canada, actually a few degrees below average, I will say. That puts Saskatchewan at 48, Lupin at 29. I did try to find some of the best names on here. Good luck with this one. In Quebec, Chippewagamoo? Chippewagamoo?
Sounds good.
I got to do some homework. Anyway.
I think that's exactly how they say it, probably.
Again, I got some work to do on that. I understand that. Anyway, notice how basically over the next week and I think about 12, 13 days, we're going to be staying above average around here. But mornings are likely to get a bit cooler back near and below average toward the end of next work week.
Okay, thank you, Adam.
All right, Victor Wembanyama, as I said at 5, it's his second camp. And it seems, Larry, that he's talking more about what they need to do than the opponents necessarily.
Absolutely. And one thing is, Pop last year early on would say, I'm just going to let Wemby play and we're just going to figure things out, right? So this year, is that still the mindset going in? And Wemby says, you know what? There's a little more structure because the Spurs know more about themselves. And in big game coverage, we're going to talk about Johnson and Roosevelt, a game that we will live stream tomorrow night coming up.
Just makes me feel lucky, you know. It takes some strength for the coaches to let the players be themselves. So it's something I respect, and he does it this way, and I'm really thankful for it.
Yeah, Wemby is thankful that Coach Pop wants his players to just be themselves in big board sports.
All
All right, Chris Paul mentioned to the media that Coach Pop told him to be himself, and that's exactly what the young Spurs need from the 19-year NBA vet. All we're hearing from Spurs training camp are positive things, and a lot of that has to do with the additions of CP3 and Harrison Barnes. Those two guys are just what the Spurs needed. Before last season, Pop talked about just letting Wemby play to see how things went around him as the team learned Wemby and as Wemby learned the Spurs in the NBA. But this year, things are a little different as Victor enters his second NBA season.
Naturally, it is more structured. First of all, because we know ourselves better. I know myself better. We've got our habits. When last year we was starting from scratch, basically, especially me. Never playing in the NBA. I had no idea of what I was doing. So I was starting from scratch totally. And but now that I've got this basis, I feel like I have what I can help my teammates also. I can help them help me.
Wemby and the Spurs will tip off the preseason this coming Monday night at home with the OKC Thunder. One of our BGC games tomorrow night, we'll see the Johnson Jaguars taking on the Roosevelt Rough Riders in a District 27 6A contest. And we will stream the game live. More on that in just a minute. The Jags are 3-1 overall and 1-0 in district play, while the Rough Riders are 1-3 this season and 0-1 in district competition. Both teams know they have areas to improve and both know what they need to do to win this game.
We know what we need to, our capabilities and what we need to do. We know it's a tough district, but I mean, it all comes to belief. Everybody in helmet shoulder pads on this field believes that we can win, so yes, sir.
We got to stick together and just be able to keep it together and fight back no matter what the score is, and just we know what we got to fix, simple things like tackling and things like that, being able to get the ball rolling, keep everybody healthy,
We just need to know our assignment like individually and then come together and do exactly what we're supposed to do and play hard.
We just need to all play with 100% effort, and knowledge of assignments like the biggest part. So if we can all get that, then I think we'll be pretty good.
Tomorrow night, we are live streaming Roosevelt and Johnson, the BGC football game from Heroes Stadium. You can watch it on the BGC app, KSAT.com and KSAT Plus. And prior to the game, catch our live pregame show, KSAT Game Day from 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. here on KSAT 12.
I'm pretty confident that he's going to be our third baseman next year. In my mind, there's not a chance that this is the last game.
Astros second baseman Jose Altuve feels third baseman Alex Bregman will stay with the organization. Bregman is set to become a free agent, and some feel his days in Houston are over with.
But not Altuve.
Not Altuve, so it's something we'll keep an eye on for sure.
All right, thanks, Larry.
Yep.
Doc Talk is coming up next. All right, the doctor is in. Every week we take your medical questions straight to a local doctor to get you some answers. And this week we are joined by Dr. Leo Lopez from University Health. Thanks for being here.
Happy to be back. Always great to see you. And you just reminded us we're on the almost one year anniversary of Doc Talk. So let's keep it going.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah. First question comes from Shelly. And Shelly asked, what's the best shampoo or treatment for scalp psoriasis?
Sure. So psoriasis is an inflammation type of skin disease that creates these scaly plaques throughout the body. And treatment can vary on a few things. So doctors might consider kind of how extensive or widespread is the psoriasis. For example, is it having one plaque on the arm, let's say, or are there many plaques throughout the body? They'll also consider where the plaques are located. So it can be challenging to treat, for example, plaques on the palm or on the scalp, as in this case. And so doctors will take into consideration if it's something a little more mild, less severe, some topical medications likely, something that we call corticosteroids. Example of this would be like triamcinolone and clobetasol. For more severe disease, however, doctors might think about something to take by mouth. An example of that is something like methotrexate. But definitely connect with your dermatologist. They are the experts in treating psoriasis, and they can develop a personalized treatment plan just for you.
Is there something over the counter? Is there a shampoo over the counter that would help psoriasis more than something else if it was on your scalp?
Not as part of an evidence-based treatment, but there are steps that folks can take. So for example, managing and maintaining a healthy weight can be helpful in managing psoriasis. as well as avoiding tobacco use and limiting alcohol use as well.
Yeah.
Okay, our next question comes to us from Kathy. She asks, how can I control my diabetes? I'm taking Januvia and Neteglinide once a day, but my glucose is still high. I walk a mile every day and don't eat sugar or refined foods.
I know it can be frustrating when you feel like you're doing all the right things. You're taking your medications regularly, you're exercising, you're watching your diet, but still not getting the results that you expect. So one good first step is check back with your doctor to see what your blood sugar goals are, because that could vary depending on your age and your medical history. So for example, an older person who has a history of hypoglycemia or lower blood sugar, their blood sugar goals might be higher than someone who is younger and otherwise healthy. The other thing to consider on the nutrition side is it's excellent that we're watching those sugars and eliminating those, but things like overeating or eating too many calories can lead to unhealthy weight gain, and that in and of itself can make it hard to manage diabetes and blood sugar. And then connect with your doctor to see what other potential options might be available. So for example, those that suffer from both diabetes and obesity, we've got newer medications, things like the Ozempics that we've heard of, that can help not just control the diabetes, but also get us to that good healthy weight, makes diabetes a little easier to manage.
Yeah, and diabetes isn't something you want to wait on. It's not something you want to like have questions about. Go see your doctor.
Definitely.
Yeah, right. Patricia asking, does the new COVID-19 vaccine work like the original? Which strains of COVID-19 does it work against?
Thank you for the question. So the new COVID vaccines are available, and they use the same technologies that we've used in the past. So these are going to be the mRNA vaccines and the protein subunit vaccine technology. And these work to activate our immune system to prepare us to fight COVID-19 and prevent us from getting really sick, because we know that severe infections from COVID-19 can land us in the hospital, and it can also be deadly. So if you're 6 months or older, it's recommended that you get vaccinated. I myself have been vaccinated, and these are really powerful tools to help keep ourselves safe and our community safe as well.
Yeah.
So our next question, it is October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So the question is, what can I do to lower my risk of getting breast cancer?
Sure. So breast cancer is still the second most common cause of cancer in women right here in the U.S. and continues to be the second leading cause of cancer death. So getting your mammogram can be life-saving. It can lead to early detection and treatment. And we know that there are certain risks that we can change and others that we can't. For example, we can't change our age and our genetics, but what we can do is be more physically active, because we know being physically inactive can raise our chances of getting breast cancer. We know that alcohol use, especially too much alcohol, can raise our risk as well. And then after menopause, being overweight or suffering from obesity can also raise our risk of breast cancer. So, connect with your doctor to go over your medical history, work to get your mammograms, and work in coordination again with your healthcare team to try and make some changes that can lower your risk.
All right, last question. Hispanic Heritage Month, it runs through October 15th. What are some of the most important health concerns in the Hispanic communities, and what are the opportunities to address them?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So we know during Hispanic Heritage Month, we want to be better sources of health for our patients. Because unfortunately, Hispanic or Latino communities right here in the U.S. continue to suffer a disproportionate burden of preventable chronic disease, things like obesity and long-term liver disease as well. And we know that these disparities are driven by the so-called social determinants of health. These are the conditions where we all live, grow, play, work, and worship. And it can be related to not having access to insurance and not being able to receive care that's culturally and linguistically appropriate. So we want to invest collectively in a workforce that's going to meet those needs. We know that despite being 19% of the U.S. population, Latinos are only 6% of the physician population. So investing in training and educating the next generation of the Latino workforce can go a long way to alleviate some of these disparities. And then investing in interpreter services, ensuring that folks have the right to receive care in their preferred language that's, again, culturally and linguistically appropriate.
Yeah, there's so many barriers just to get up the courage to go to a doctor's office, and then you want to take down as many of those as possible.
No doubt. So working with our friends and our families, encouraging folks to see their doctor for their checkups and their medical care can definitely go a long way.
Yeah.
Dr. Lopez, University Health, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you all for having me.
Great to see you.
Likewise.
Happy anniversary, by the way. All right, I'm going to tell that to every doctor that's here this month, by the way.
Let's do it.
Yeah, all right, Doc Talk, by the way, if you have a question, we want to hear from you. Hit the QR code, send us your question, and we will ask our doctors what they think and their best advice every Thursday at 6:30, except for the Thursdays when we're doing Know My Neighborhood.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Have you seen any of these little guys? It is peak butterfly season for residential and migrating butterfly species here in South Texas.
And if you're hoping to see them in your garden, you need to have the right plants.
Sarah Acosta knows. She shows us what to grow in your garden to attract them.
I love the fall because I can walk outside and always spot a handful of butterflies in my garden. During peak season, there can be 50 to 100 just outside my door.
This was done strategically, and you can do it too. Here's what you can plant that will attract butterflies to your garden.
Any kind of sage. I prefer indigo spires. These attract big butterflies because of their big flowers, like swallowtails and monarchs. Zinnias. These are my favorite. Another big flower that attracts big butterflies, and they just can't get enough of the nectar. Greg's mist flower. It's like sugar to butterflies, especially queen butterflies. A cousin to the monarch, they seriously can't get enough. Lantana, a small but mighty flower, can survive anything, and the smaller butterflies love it. Milkweeds. These are host plants for monarchs. Native milkweeds are best, but hard to plant from seed for even a seasoned gardener. I have both tropical and native milkweeds in my garden. Passion vines, a host plant to the Gulf fritillary, plus they have beautiful flowers. For beginner gardeners, I suggest planting all these from transplant, and you can find all of them at our local nurseries. The only ones I suggest planting from seeds are zinnias, and even beginners can do it. Happy gardening. I'm Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
Sarah Acosta with the two green thumbs.
Exactly. She is an expert gardener.
She sure
I,
is.
on the other hand, am not.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Same.
I have a brown thumb.
Well, technically, a green thumb could be considered a brown thumb because you're digging in the dirt and the dirt isn't green.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I'm with you.
Thank you very much
All right.
for that.
Feel better. I'm here.
I feel better.
Kasky the optimist.
That's right.
Must be Thursday.
On this Thursday. Our first cooler afternoon. We're talking a high temperature below 80 degrees. Over the last 30 years, the average was September 12th. We're way past that, and the latest was October 24th. We'll talk about our extended forecast and what's going on in the tropics in just a bit.
It is Thursday.
Well, excuse me?
Thermometer. How could I forget?
You know what? I like the Thermometer Thursday road trips.
It is another.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We had a Therm Thurs road trip just the other week with Know My Neighborhood. We've got a Therm Thurs road trip this week. Some winners at a special place. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Let's start with tomorrow. First of all, it's going to be more like, or a lot like today. We'll start the day at 70 degrees, a lot of sunshine, make it up to about 94 for the high temperature. A light breeze, 5 to 10 miles per hour. High temperatures tomorrow. Low 90s in the hill country. Kerrville, 91. Los Maples, 91 along with Bernie. 94 though, Floresville. Sabinal, 94. And if you're planning for the high school football games, just think of today at that time is basically what it's going to be like tomorrow. Just a stray shower possible for the communities closer to the Gulf Coast. Notice just a 20% chance of rain on Saturday. That's it. That's all we have. And that's our only teeny little dip in temperatures, lower 90s. Otherwise, we're talking mid 90s throughout. Now, mornings could actually drop a little below average by the end of next week. We need some patience. Yes, even for our first real feeling or noticeable cold front, we need patience. Dew points right now, upper 50s to mid 50s. There will be a little extra humidity in the air this weekend, and I'm especially looking at the nighttime dew points because that's a good indicator of just how low the temperature can also drop at night. The air temperature can't go below the dew point, and the dew point is kind of a theoretical ultimate low for the night. But the drier the air we get, the more efficiently we cool off. And we do see a surge of drier air by the middle to end of next week, and that could translate to those morning temperatures back below average. And average is 63, 64 right now. Anyway, let's talk about the first cooler morning. Over the last 30 years, for a morning temperature, the morning low, below 60 degrees, the average is September 26th. Clearly, we're past that. The latest, October 19th, and that was back in 2007. Quick look at the tropics here. Notice how we have two systems spinning way out in the Atlantic, one much more noticeable than the other. And the noticeable one is Hurricane Kirk, not Kurt, Kirk, like Kirk Cameron. Throwback, right? Throwback. A lot of people probably even know who I'm talking about, right? Anyway, this is a Category 4 hurricane, and that's headed off to the northwest at 12 miles per hour. And I'll put both these systems up. They're basically, Leslie, it will become a hurricane and follow Kirk in its path in the central Atlantic and then northward as it weakens. That's about it. 93, that was our high temperature today. Notice the average low is 65 right now. We're going to be at to little below that by the end of next week. Futurecast for rain keeps most of it down in the valley for Saturday. Just that slight 20% chance around here. That's it. Higher odds down closer to Brownsville. All right, it's that time. Taking it on the road, and guess what? More bingo calling.
Hey, what's happening?
At the Shirts Area Senior Center. Thank you so much for having me. I was able to go in.
Bingo.
Yeah. Sorry, I had my inadvertent Lil Jon impression there. Yeah. Calling him out. And the final game, blackout. You got to fill out everything on the card. You know what that was for.
The thermometer.
The thermometer. So the Shirts Senior Center, the winners this week. And thank you so much for having me. Yashika, I appreciate it, and I'm going to be back. We're going to have more fun. We'll be giving away more thermometers to winners there. And we've been on the road the last few weeks. By next week, I'll be able to announce a winner from our online system, ksat.com/thermometer, to enter that drawing.
Very cool. Love that.
Yeah. Oh, we also played some polka music and a few other things, as you know, when the winners were called. We had fun. I mixed it up a bit.
Why didn't we see that video? Where's that dancing?
Maybe we don't want it. Maybe we don't want to see it.
Oh no, yeah. I want to see it.
I surprised them with Who Stole the Kishka song.
Oh yes, that old tune.
Isn't Worst Fest coming up? I mean, if anybody's calling, it should be a Worst Fest. It's you, Adam Caskey.
Yeah.
We got the buzz coming up after the break.
Can't handle me.
In the buzz today, check out this kid with some sky-high aspirations. Aiden Schneider is going down a career path in piloting and is now the Virginia Flight School's youngest student ever. He went for a fan flight 4 years ago, and on that flight, and under a watchful eye, Aiden was allowed to take the yoke and go solo.
Did we mention he's 8?
8.
Yeah, the pilot said Aiden was a natural, so Aiden's dad enrolled him in the flight school. 4 years later, Aiden's 12. He's racked up nearly 70 flight hours. 70 flight hours. He won't be eligible for a pilot's license until he's 17, but he is clearly charting a course and a flight path forward.
Yes, he is. Young Aiden. Custodian Freddie Bucci has been keeping things tidy at the Rhode Island School, an elementary school there, for 26 years, but it is his lunchtime leaf-blowing performances that's been going for 5 strong years now. It's made him a celebrity amongst his students.
Freddie Bucci. It's also earned him a weekly residency in the cafeteria called Freddie Fridays. Teachers call it the highlight of the week for students, teachers, and staff, and they say they are lucky to have someone like Freddie at the school. That is
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be right
Creativity.
back. Celebrate, honor, and remember people impacted by blood cancer. Join us at Hemisphere Park on October 19th for Light the Night. Hundreds of lanterns will illuminate the sky with hope and honor. And our reporter, Daniela Ibarra, will MC that opening ceremony. If you'd like to support Team KSAT in celebrating and remembering patients, scan this QR code.
Adam.
All right, really quick look at our feature cast there. And once we get into tomorrow night, right along the Gulf Coast and some coastal communities, few showers, and then it's down in the valley, mostly on Saturday.
All right, Adam, thank you. And thank you for watching the news at 6.
See you on the Night Beat at 10.